Hey guys, we are here at Ingress Mini Bangsa and we're here to do a review of the Mini Countryman S LCI. So here it is. This is the facelifted version. This version was launched in early 2021. So it comes with a redesigned front bumper. As you can see at the center of the front bumper and at the side vents, you have this silver trim. And then all the chrome trim has now been replaced with the piano black. So as you can see, the front grille is all blacked out and the headlight surrounds are also in black, and the Mini logo is also in black. It actually gives this car a more aggressive look from the front. Engine is still the same. It has a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine which produces 192 horsepower and 280 Newton meters of torque. It's also paired to a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. The suspension has been retuned for a little bit of better comfort. The pre-LCI had a sport suspension which was a little bit stiff, which made the car a little bit bumpy. But with this standard suspension, it's a little bit more comfortable right now. The rims are 19-inch. These are turnstile design wheels. It has 225 45 tires, front and rear. As we move on to the side, you can see that the door handles are also now in piano black. On the top, you have these roof rails which you can actually install a roof box, okay, if you need to store more items. As we move to the rear, with the all-4 design, it has also a new rear bumper at the bottom and at the sides. Okay, you have silver trim, you have a silver diffuser here, you have the twin exhaust at the rear. The Countryman wording is also in black, as is the Mini logo and the Cooper S badging. Okay, and we have also the Union Jack tail lights with the trim which was previously chrome, now is in piano black. So overall, this is it's a mini SUV design. Okay, it's the most popular model we have in the range. You know, it contributes to almost 70% of our sales here in Mini Bangsa. This color that you see here is called sage green. It's a special color that's only meant for the Countryman. Okay, there are a few other colors you can get it in, which is basically chili red, island blue, British racing green, and white silver. Alright, personally for me, my favorite color is white silver. Hopefully we have some units coming in, and I hope to take that as one of my assigned cars. Alright, so this car actually comes with comfort access. So all you need to do is just have the key in your pocket. Alright, and you just approach the door. There's a little button here. You just press this to lock or unlock your car. Okay. Another cool feature is also what we call the easy opener. So for example, let's say you have lots of luggage, or you're carrying your groceries and your hands are full and you can't open the boot, no worries. Alright, with the key in your pocket, all you need to do is just swipe your leg underneath the car and it should open up the boot automatically. There we go. So boot space is 450 liters. The rear seats can be folded down flat to give you a total of about 1,500 liters of boot space. And not only that, you can also have additional storage at the bottom here. You can just flip this board up and you can see inside here you have your first aid kit, you have your tow hook and your lock nut. Okay, and one more cool feature is what we call the picnic bench. Alright, it's connected to this board, so all you need to do is just pull this flap up and the picnic bench can be placed on the rear side of the car. Useful, for example, for me when I go for sports and I want to find a place to sit to wear my sports shoes, I can just sit on this bench, you know, or if you're going out for a picnic, you have the boot open, you can just sit on it, no issue. Very easy to just put it back. Just pull this up, it's back in. Alright. So to close the boot, either press this button or the same thing, just kick your leg underneath the car and you close it up automatically. So very convenient to have the easy opener. Okay, so let's take a look inside the car. Alright, just before getting in, I'd just like to show you about the seats. The seats are actually electric operated. Alright, so you can move it front, back. Everything can be adjusted through the controls here. Okay. You also have a memory for 2 settings. Alright, so all you need to do is just set your seat settings and then just hold the button 1 or 2 to lock in your memory. Okay. Alright, so let's start the car up. So with the facelift version, okay, there are some upgrades for the interior. Firstly, we have the new 5-inch digital instrument cluster. You have a new steering wheel design. Okay. For the Countryman, basically it's a full spec car. Okay, so you have the heads-up display. All right, so in a heads-up display, there are certain information that you can see. For example, your speed. If you have any incoming call, you can see who's calling. You can answer that. Media, okay, the songs that you're playing or radio station that you're playing, you can also see through that, as well as navigation. Okay, so you got heads-up display. You got the bigger screen, 8.8-inch touchscreen display. So you have a large central display which dominates the cabin. Okay, a very cool and retro-looking design. Alright. This particular unit is actually one of the early batch, okay, which came without the Harman Kardon sound system. So this has the 6-speaker sound system. But if you were to book a car now, alright, you actually get it with the latest spec, which is the one with the 12-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Alright. So yeah, let's take a look at the interior. One of the other changes is also on the dash. The pre-LCI had a different design. So this one has a silver design to it, and it's also lighted. Okay, so when it's dark, you can actually see the lighting which appears through this panel. Okay, so there are actually 12 different ambient lights which you can select. The selector is up here. Alright, you can just flick this toggle switch to select your 12 different ambient lighting. Okay, so this panel here, you have all the cabin lighting. Okay, you have your SOS button here. Okay, so in case of any emergency, you can press that SOS button and you'll call through to our call center. Alright. Looking down here to the center of the console, alright, you have your dual zone climate control. Further down, you still have some of the buttons for climate control as well. Okay, and all here are your toggle switches. This is your start-stop switch. Okay, the toggle switch. This is for your traction. Okay, and this is your driving mode. So basically, there are 3 driving modes. By default, it's mid. Okay, if you flick it up, it goes into sport mode. Alright, so what happens with sport mode is, firstly, your throttle response becomes a bit more sensitive. Okay, the car feels more responsive. Secondly, the steering feels a little bit heavier to give you more feel when you're cornering. And thirdly, the sound of the engine becomes a little bit louder, so it sounds a bit more sporty. Okay, how that happens? Basically, there is a mic in the engine bay which kind of like amplifies the sound into the cabin via the speakers. Alright, so definitely sounds a bit better with that. Okay, so that's your sport mode. Flick it down all the way and it goes into green mode. So green mode, you can actually configure that. Alright, green mode is basically to help you save more fuel. Okay, one of the features is also coasting. So if you set, let's say for the car to start coasting at 100, so what happens is when you hit 100 km and above, and when you lift off your accelerator, the revs go to just like above idle. Okay, so it's as if like you put the car into neutral. Right, it's a similar feeling. Okay, but that's more on saving fuel. As for throttle response, it feels a little bit heavier. Okay, that is also to assist with the fuel efficiency. Alright, so let's get back to mid mode. Alright, this is a default driving mode. And then over here you have your start stop function, which you can off. Alright, so all just do is just flick it up, it turns orange, you've off the start stop, and you have your parking feature here, parking sensor. You have auto parking as well. Okay, this car has parking sensors as well as a reverse camera, so anytime you put it into reverse, it will activate your reverse camera. Okay. So what are some of the functions that you can see through here, through your iDrive system? Well, you have navigation, you can have your car settings, okay, whether exterior, interior. You also have your media. You have Mini Connected, which has a lot of functions. Alright, Mini has what we call a mini app, which you can download for Apple or Android. And through the app, there are many functions like you can lock and unlock your car. You can track where your car is. Alright, so there are many other functions for the Mini app. Okay, and of course we have Apple CarPlay. Alright, so Apple CarPlay comes standard with this car, which is very useful if, for example, you're using Waze. Alright, so you can actually mirror that onto the screen. Okay, so yeah, here's your gear lever for your 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. We have the electronic parking handbrake, and this is your iDrive controller. Alright, so you can just turn the knob here and you can select different functions of your iDrive. You also have buttons which you can press to go immediately to some of the functions. For example, if I want the map, I just press map and your map shows up on the display screen. Okay, over here, your armrest, flip it up and you have your wireless charger. Pull all the way up, you have a little bit of a storage bin here. Okay, there's also a USB port here. Okay, if you like to play some of your music through your thumb drive, alright, you can put it in there. You got 2 cup holders and there'll be a storage bin here for your keys and stuff. Alright, seats are all leather. Comes only in one color, which is black. Alright, you also have your ambient lighting. You can see some of the piping at the bottom of the door of the front. Okay, and as we look to the back, very spacious and comfortable. This is the most spacious Mini that you can buy right now. Center seat, if you were to pull that down, okay, you actually have your cup holders in there. Okay. And coming to your steering wheel. Alright, so on the left you have your cruise control buttons, and on the right you have your buttons to control your media. Okay, so you can up or down, you can actually select some of the songs, or you can even select your different radio channels, and you also have functions for your phone. Okay, we also have a pedal shift. Alright, so instead of changing manually through the gear lever, which you can actually do by just pushing it to the left. Alright, if you put it in D, pushing to the left, you're now in sports. Okay, so you can actually shift gears by pushing it front or back. Alright, you can change gears manually, or like I said, you could actually use the pedal shift behind the steering wheel. Okay. And some of the stocks at the back here, on the left you have your signal. Okay, and if you can see here, there's this A here, which is actually auto high beam, and this is very useful if, for example, you're driving on a road which is very dark. Okay, if the car detects it's a very dark road, it will automatically activate the high beam. And the cool thing about that is, if there's an oncoming car which the car detects is coming, or it will automatically off the auto high beam, and when it gets dark again, you on it back again. Yeah, so very cool feature. And on the right stop is your wipers. So you have auto wiper as well. All you need to do is just press this button inside. Okay, the light indicates that it's the auto function is now on. Okay, so, and on the right side you have your lighting control. Usually I like to have it on A, which is auto, so you have auto headlights. Alright, or you can select it manually. Alright, you also have your fog lights controls here, and this one is a little roll switch here. Basically this is to adjust the brightness of the lighting in your interior. At the side of the door, if you can, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's some lighting, ambient lighting in the door handle, and you have your power window switches and side mirror switch to adjust your mirrors, all on this right hand side. Okay, you have quite a deep storage area here for you if you like to keep some water bottles, large enough to actually fit in here. Okay, and some additional storage areas. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior of the Mini Countryman LCI. Alright, well, next step, let's do a drive and see how this car feels on the road. Okay, here we are at Genting Highland, our favorite test route. I've put the car in sports mode. Alright, and I've also off the traction as well as the dynamic stability control, so that we can feel how this car actually handles through the corners up Genting. Okay, and off we go. Under acceleration, you can hear that the engine sounds a bit louder when it's in sport mode. Acceleration is actually pretty good for SUV of this size. There's quite a lot of traffic today. We arrived Genting a bit late today at about 9:30 AM. If you guys would like to do a Genting run, I'd suggest arriving here at about 7 AM. That's when traffic is at its minimum. Okay, the first left-hander, we're going to take it at speed. Turning is good. glad they removed the two humps here. At least we get to have a smoother run into this tight right-hander. Okay, let's try to outbrake that van into the left-hander. Let's test out the brakes. Very good, strong. Into the left-hander and powering up the hill. I love this sequence of corners. It really gives it a chance to test out the cornering capabilities of the car. I must say this Countryman is handling pretty well. There's quite a lot of grip, although it's not on the sport suspension, but it still handles very well. There's a dip in the road. Let's see how this suspension copes with it. Wow. Okay, it absorbed it pretty well. The amazing thing about this Countryman is it's still able to give you that good mini handling, and you still can have lots of fun with this car going up Genting. Understeer is definitely there if you over push it through the corners, but if you drive it within its limit, there's still plenty of grip and still plenty of fun to be had with this car. Okay, it's a pretty steep incline right here, but with the 192 horsepower, it's actually sufficient to pull this Countryman up the hill fast enough. We got a bit of fog coming in, and it's a bit wet here now. I can feel the tires are just slightly struggling for grip. It's quite wet in certain areas, so we just try to slow it down just to be safe. There is a good amount of steering feel through the corners. I'm not sure this guy, is he going left or is he going right? Goes left, then we'll try to overtake him. Okay, let's go. The fog is actually getting worse as we get nearer to the top. It's pretty wet on this stretch. Just need to be a bit careful here. The tires are struggling for grip here now. Countryman is running on Goodyear Eagle F1s, and dry grip is good. Wet grip is not too bad either. Okay, So we are almost approaching the top soon. So guys, what do I think of this Mini Countryman S? Well, as an SUV, I think it handles pretty well. It still has that Mini DNA. Alright, the steering feels sharp, and it has quite a lot of grip through the corners. Alright, and as for the brakes, well, the brake pedal travel is a little bit longer compared to the one I have in my 5-door, but the stopping power is still very strong and it's still good. Alright, so I think it's a practical Mini which you can use daily, and if you enjoy your weekend drives up Genting or through winding roads, it's still good enough to have lots of fun. Alright, so guys, if you like to test drive this Mini Countryman S, alright, we have this demo unit in Bangsa, which you can drop by to test drive it anytime. You could also drop me a message, or in the comments, and let me know if you like to drop by our place to test drive this car. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, do share, like, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.